My name is Asia Randall, for those who may not know me. And let's jump in and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Asia Randall. Like I said, I am a certified project manager. My specialty is media and marketing. However, I have been in a lot of areas in media. I have done several different things. And so my specialties or my favorites, I would like to say, are email marketing, social media marketing, and sponsorship marketing. However, fun fact, I used to be a DJ. I don't do it as much anymore, but I realized that sometimes it's just in you, right? Like your energy attracts other people. And so even though you try to be in the background, you just have to be out there and put yourself out there. And so that is essentially why I'm coming to you today, really just trying to put some information out in the world about email marketing and things that are kind of under the radar, right? So let's jump into it. And before I do that, my link, and I'll put the link on once this video finishes, I'll put it out there, successwithasia.com/join my email. And if you could join my email list, and let's jump into it. I don't want to keep you too long today because it is a weekday. So the agenda for today is going to be, what is email marketing? We're going to talk about the different types of email marketing. We're going to talk about why it's important for you in your business, the important elements in emails, right? So there's a lot of different pieces and parts to it. We're going to talk about subscribers and how much their cost is and why it's important to know that. And also the different types of email autoresponders. So what is email marketing? So email marketing is sending emails to different people, telling them about your product or service. Why is that important? That is very important because it gives them, do this, thank you. Okay, so it's really important because it gives them information to you, right? Access to you, direct access to you. And email marketing can be in any area. Email marketing can be like, type in the chat, what is your area? Whatever your area of expertise is, they need emails from you, right? So if you are working in the real estate business, they're going to need your emails. If you are a moving company, they're going to need your emails. If you are heating and air conditioning, they're going to need your emails, right? Email marketing is vast and it applies to every area in business. So it doesn't mean that just because I'm in one niche, I can't do email marketing. Email marketing is for everybody. Types of email marketing. You have promotional emails like discounts and promotions and sales. So those would be your Ross, your Kohl's, your Target, the things that you get on a regular basis, trying to get you to buy something with them, right? Trying to get you to purchase something or reminding you that, hey, you left this in your cart, right? Then you also have the newsletters. So your newsletters are your long, kind of like long form. So essentially like a newspaper, right? So instead of a newspaper, you get a newsletter instead. Now it's electronic. So those are your company news and industry trends. That could be your Forbes. That could be your CNN, your Fox, your MSNBC. Those could be your quarterly statements from your stocks. It could be a plethora of things. And then you also have transactional emails. So confirm purchases, like stuff you get from, like I paid my Verizon, right? So Verizon will send me an email saying, hey, I got, you paid this bill, thank you for paying. Then you have shipping notifications like Amazon, right? Amazon will always tell you, hey, your order has shipped. You can expect to, track it here. Then they'll tell you when it's been delivered. And then you also have password resets and things like that. Why is email marketing important? So email marketing is important because it helps businesses to connect to their customers and it gives them offers, products, services. And then you have that community access that you don't necessarily get on social media. So let's be frank, social media is great. However, social media is that middleman, right? So if anything happens with social media, you may be out. I don't know if you recall a couple of months back, it's happened quite a few times actually, where Facebook has gone down or Instagram has gone down. And so imagine if you were to have an event, like just like I'm talking to you right now, maybe you scheduled a really large virtual event, and then at the last minute, you can't even get on Facebook, you can't get on Instagram. How are your people going to know that that's a problem? How are they going to reach you? Well, if you have direct access to them, then you can email them and let them know, hey, because Facebook, because Instagram is having problems, you can click here and we'll do it on YouTube. You know what I mean? It gives you options, right? So instead of you only relying on Facebook or only relying on Instagram, you have different options to be able to get access to your clients, to your customers. And that way you can develop that strong bond. And so you can move forward, because email marketing is very subtle, but it provides you with a lot of flexibility. So how to build an email list. So most times, move this out of the way. Okay. So most times you ask people if they want to receive emails from you and you collect their email addresses. So what does that look like? So most times it looks like a funnel. Well, a funnel is, and I don't want to get too technical today because funnels are a little more advanced in email marketing, but basically you may be on Facebook, you may be on Instagram, and you're scrolling and you see a sponsored ad and somebody says something that's really intriguing to you. Like, do you want to make more money, or are you tired of being, at your 9 to 5, or do you want to lose more weight? Do you want to, it's always usually a question that sparks your interest. And so it makes you want to click. And when they say, well, click here, all you got to do is click the link and you'll get free access to my PDF. You'll get free access to my ebook. You'll get free access to my template. And so when you do those things and you click on those and you fill out your information and your email, you become their subscriber. And a subscriber is just that, a person who gives you their email address. So you are essentially opening the door for them to be able to interact with you. And that's how simple it is. So most times you do funnels. However, there are other ways to build your email list, right? So you can post something on your website. Hey, join our email list, and you'll put it on your website. They'll click on links on there. If you're on YouTube, a lot of times it's in the description of your YouTube channel. I have this subscription on my bio on Facebook and on my LinkedIn. I have a sign up sheet to my physical location. Like if I'm at an event or something, right, you can do a sign up. Or if you're at a conference, you can do a sign up or something, or a QR code. A lot of times people do QR codes nowadays as well. And then of course you have business cards and flyers and things like that. But most of the times, because email is electronic, you're going to find your way that it's going to be the easiest for you to collect emails. It's going to be funnels, websites, and links. So let's talk about what goes in the email and what important pieces are in the email. So subject lines are the first thing that anybody sees, right? So you're going to want to make sure that your subject line is something that is eye-grabbing, right? We don't want to be spammy, okay? We don't want to be spammy. We don't want to be misleading. However, we do want it to be intriguing, right? And so over time, you'll kind of learn your subscribers and you'll learn what they're excited about, right? So if you are in like affiliate marketing, you'll know that they're going to want to learn about email marketing, but they're also going to want to learn about how to attain more clients, how to get more income, how to promote other people's products, right? So if you're in real estate, you're going to want to entice them to click on something about how to purchase properties, how to purchase, how to get your person to sign up for, whatever the case may be. You'll have, maybe you'll give them informational tips, right? That they may not know, like what's the The 10 things I wish somebody told me, right? Those are really good subject lines because everybody wants to know what are the missing pieces, right? Help me so I don't be in pain, right? Help me so that I can solve the problem before I already get there. So if you can touch on those pain points in your subject lines, you will have them clicking that email. And generally a rule of thumb is 8 words or less. You don't want your subject to be so long that they can't read the whole thing, right? Because the subject comes up fairly, you can't see all that generally on an email anyway. So you do want something that's attention grabbing, but not so long that they can't read all of it. Pre-header text. So the pre-header text is going to be the little information that comes right after your subject. So the subject is going to be the first thing that they see, right? So that first line of defense, right? Oh, right here, boom, right in their face. However, pre-header text is going to be the subtle stuff that they're going to want to engage with. And because you said, like, maybe you said freebie in there, maybe you said there's a survey to win a product or something, it's going to be something that's going to intrigue them in order to click more. So you gave them essentially like a preview of what's to come, and people like previews, right? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. And so it's going to give you like a preview. So here's an example. So these are literally just from my inbox, okay? So it says accelerate your income. So that is the subject. And then in the pre-header text, they said, hi, Asia. Well, I'm already intrigued, right? Because you said my name. Now, that is also a very good tool to get them to click the link, putting their name in the email, right? Because that's me, what you know. And then you say making 5K or 10K a month. Really sounds interesting, right? So I may want to click that. And then I have another email that says 20 million followers in 2 years. Now that sounds crazy to me, right? That sounds a little off. However, it does say, yep, you read that right. So it still piques my level of interest. Although it sounds crazy, it does still pique my interest. So as you create your subject lines and your pre-header text, you make sure that it is something that is going to intrigue them and pull them in. So the next thing is the body of the email. Generally, less is more. We don't like really long emails, especially when you're just starting out. I don't know if you've heard the term that most people are very short attention spans, right? Especially on social media, because we're always scrolling, right? We're always going through stuff so fast that we're not really taking the time to really read something that, and it has to be really important or really attention grabbing for us to stay long enough and stay engaged on that particular post, right? So in your emails, you need to make sure that it's kind of short and sweet to the point. Over time, once you've learned your subscribers, then you maybe can make them a little bit longer. But generally in the beginning, you just kind of want them to click on the email and be able to see your content and read your information. So we don't want it to be too long so that they lose interest, right? And then another thing is, especially if a lot of people are on their mobile phones, people don't scroll. So if people are not scrolling, then if you're writing a very long email, they're not going to see it. So you need to make sure that you can convey what you need to convey in the portion that they can see, so that they can continue to engage with you. Hyperlinks and raw links are next. So hyperlinks and raw links, these are used to get your subscribers to engage with you. So these are going to be the things that they will click on, and we'll go over that a little bit more in detail. And they'll click on those, and when you click on it, then it takes you to your actual, maybe your website, maybe your landing page, your opt-in page. We'll talk about that on another day. But basically, when they click on the link, it takes them somewhere else. So hyperlink is just what it says. It's a link, but it's a hyperlink. So think about children, right? We said, oh, that child is hyper, right? Because that means that child is active. So that link is an active link, meaning that once you click on it, it's supposed to take you somewhere. Now, you're always going to need to make sure that you're testing your emails before you send them out to make sure that the email is going out in the way that you want it to, that it's formatted correctly, and that the link that you post in your email is actually going to a particular person, okay? Or a particular link, wherever that link is that you have it. The link could go to your Facebook, it could go to your LinkedIn profile, it could go to your website, it could go to your product, it could go to your service, it could go to a free product or service, right? So just making sure that that link that you have actually goes to where you intended it to go. So here is a breakdown of what we've already discussed, but I just wanted you to kind of see what it looks like. So this is my email, right? So in the subject line, because I have is social media overrated in the body, I could take that and post that in the subject line, okay? I could take a piece of that. It says, I could take a piece of whatever I have in there and I could make that the pre-header text, or I could create my own pre-header text to put in there to have them engage and want to click more about it. Then you see where my body is. The body, of course, is, the truth is it's overrated, but it's the connector piece of the puzzle, right? So then I have my click here, and that is going to be my hyperlink. So the hyperlink is going to be something that you have to draw attention to, right? It's something that you're going to want them to know that that's the link. When you are doing emails, you need to make sure that you provide the subscriber with the least amount of work possible. You don't want them to have to do a whole lot of work, because you will lose people every step that you take them on, right? If you take them on 4 different steps, you're going to lose half of them by the time you get to step 3, right? Assuming that they know exactly what you're talking about. And a rule of thumb is to make it engaging, make it interesting, and also make it simple. People don't like words that they can't understand. It's very interesting, but it's very true, because if you use really hard words, I don't know, and then they're gonna click off because they don't know what you mean. So make sure that you know, like in your emails and in the body of your emails, that your words that you're using are easy words to follow, right? 3rd, 4th, 5th grade level words, right? Make sure that they're simple enough that people understand what they are, because the more intricate, right? So the bigger the word, or if they don't know the meaning of the word, they're going to sign off, okay? So less is more, and we're going to keep it simple. Another button is the unsubscribe button. Now, this button is very, very important, because most people don't necessarily talk about it, but you do need to give them the option to unsubscribe from your list, because due to the CAN Spam Act, you cannot keep people that don't want to be kept, right? Have you ever been on a phone, like on your phone, right? So I have my phone and I'm on a group text that I cannot get off of because I didn't create it and somebody else is on it, maybe an Android or iPhone, or for whatever reason, I cannot remove myself from this feed. And so they're texting every day and I can't remove myself. You know how frustrating that is, right? And so it's the same way for your subscriber if they subscribe and they can't get off. Well, it sounds bad, but it's really a good thing, because if they're not wanting to be on your list, you can't hold them. You can't make them stay, right? So it's good to go ahead and let them off, because it gives you freedom that, okay, cool, that we're not a match, that's fine. And then it also allows for other people to join your list, because what happens is over time, your list is going to grow, right? We're going to call that amen, right? Your list is going to grow exponentially. And every time it grows, it costs more money. So you're going to want to make sure that the people who don't want to be there are not there, because that way it doesn't cut into your dollars. So let's make sure that we give them the option to unsubscribe. And so this is kind of what it'll look like. You'll have an unsubscribe link, and generally the unsubscribes are all the way at the bottom of your email. So you have to unsubscribe, and then you have, or they may want to change subscriber options. So let's say you're getting emails from Target, and Target is sending you emails every day. And you're like, this is just too much, Target. Like, I love you, or Costco or Kohl's, whatever. Like, I love you, but you're just sending way too many for me. Okay. So I can change my subscriber options so that I can just be, okay, just give me emails maybe 2 or 3 times a week, right? And that way I still get some of Target emails, but I'm not bombarded with Target emails, okay? So give them that option. So raw links versus domain. So we talked a little bit about hyperlinks. Well, hyperlinks generally are these raw links right here. So if you look at the top, if you look at that top link is m/doc/answer and all these numbers and all these characters and all that. What is that? So if you put that in your email, they are going to run. Your subscribers are going to run because they don't know what that is. And that already looks suspicious, right? It looks suspicious, it looks weird, it looks spammy, like I don't know what that is. But if I buy a domain, which is google.com, I'm more apt to click on a google.com than a raw link like that. So what the hyperlink does is we take that link right there and we convert it into that hyperlink so you don't see all of that, right? So you don't have to see all that. You just do that click here, and that click here may contain that link, but you don't see all that. But it will be easier for you to create a domain link, kind of like google.com, only because when you are promoting something, like let's say I'm saying, hey, I want you to join my email list, successwithasia.com/join my email. That's going to be a lot easier to say, and that's going to be a lot easier for your subscribers to type in if they want to join your email list, as opposed to giving them that link right there. Because that's not reasonable. You're not going to be able to remember that, and they're not going to be able to remember that. So if you purchase a domain, and domains are very inexpensive, they may run you from, it just depends on the domain that you have, right? So if you're using now you won't do google.com, of course, but if you were using like a very lavish name, those will kind of run you higher, but basically like your name, asiarandall.com, something like that. Maybe, I think it was like $12 for the year. And then over time, it goes up a little bit, usually not by much though. But your domain gives you keep that domain for a year before you renew it. And it gives you the option to do the email with it as well. And you can do subdomains. Now, we won't talk about that today, but you can do up to 500 subdomains with that link. So it gives you a lot of versatility. So I do highly recommend that you do purchase a domain name once you are ready to really start your email marketing. So how often do we send emails? The general rule of thumb, it depends on the type of audience that you have, but it also depends on the type of things that you're doing, right? So generally we say 2 to 4 emails a week, right? So like a few times a week. Now, because you are, like, let's say if you're an affiliate, affiliates will send them more often, right? Because you have a lot more products to sell or services and different things like that. So you may do them more frequently. Excuse me. Well, then I have some of my clients and they will say to me, well, I just don't want to bother them, Asia. I don't want them to get annoyed by me. So I was thinking maybe like once a month, maybe like once every other week. And I said, oh, who's going to see that? Because what's going to happen is, just think about your social media. Think about if you've seen one post one time in a month, in 2 months, who is going to remember? You're not going to remember that. You're scrolling all day. You probably spend on average maybe honestly, maybe 2 to 4 hours on somebody's social media, on somebody's LinkedIn, on somebody's anything, right? Your TV, whatever, you're always going to be scrolling and, clicking through stuff. And so the chances of you remembering something that somebody posted one time a month ago or 2 times in a month is going to be so small, you're gonna forget. And so a lot of times what happens in marketing is people tend to think nobody cares about my stuff. Nobody wants to buy my product. And they start to feel bad on themselves and feel down on themselves. When the reality is you just didn't post it enough. You didn't put it out there enough for them to even engage with you because they just forgot, right? They just forgot because there's so many things going on all the time coming at them in different ways. You just have to kind of remind them. So the rule of thumb is to send them 2 to 4 weeks so that they get used to who you are. They get comfortable with seeing your name in their emails, in their email list, in their inbox, and it gives you that authority to keep sending them because it'll make you better in the long run. But you do need to be consistent with your emails, okay? So how much is an email subscriber worth? Do you know? I'm going to give you a second to answer that. Do you know how much an email subscriber is worth? Okay. All right. So the rule of thumb, I don't know why I keep using that word, but I do like it. Okay. Words, I should say. Okay. So 1 subscriber per month is $1. Okay. $1 per subscriber per month. So you can imagine that, let's say for an example, I have this image up here for 1,000. So let's say I have 1,000 subscribers. So on average, if each one of those is $1, that should be an average of $1,000 that I should be able to make on my subscriber list per month. Why is that a rule of thumb? Because you have a lot of pieces and parts that go into this. But however, even though I have 1,000 subscribers, everybody's not going to buy from me, right? However, I increase my chances of somebody buying by the amount of subscribers that I have on my list. So for example, I said I have 50,000 subscribers, right? I'm sorry, 50 subscribers that actually buy my item that's $20. So that gives me that $1,000. So even though I have 1,000 subscribers on my email list, they are not all going to buy from me, and they're not all going to buy from me at the same time. Remember, we just talked about how often somebody has to see your product, your service, your email in order to really engage with you. So let's say out of those 1,000, 50 of them actually have seen at least 4 emails and have opened at least 4 of my emails. So within that month, they've seen at least 4 of those. So they feel more comfortable with me. And so because they feel more comfortable with me, they purchase my item for $20. And that gives me that $1,000. So I didn't need to have all the subscribers that I had to purchase my product. But even with just those small few, I love to call it the faithful few helps me to reach my goal of $1,000 for that month. Now, the more I email, I may get more. And so this is just a rule. This is just an average, is that the 1 per subscriber. But you could be doing $2, $3 per subscriber. It just really depends on you, your market, your niche, and your subscribers and how well you know them. Okay, so that would give me a $12,000 for that year. And I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good, right? We're just sending emails. We're sending them on a consistent basis, providing them value. We're not always selling to them, but we are providing them value and different information and different content to make them aware of it and providing them with things that they are engaging in, things that they like. And we're creating that value, know, like, and trust. And so because of that, they're buying our products and our services, and we're creating revenue. Now, email autoresponders are the way that you are going to collect all of these emails, because we're not doing Gmail. We're not doing that. Okay. Gmail is free, which is nice, but it's not something that as a domain, right? So we talked about the domain, and the domain name is going to give you that authority that you're going to need when you send these emails out. You ever see when you get a spam, you'll get a ups.3478 something at gmail.com. That is spam. Do not click that link. That is not your person, right? That is and they do it a lot when they send out your package, click here, your package is late or something along those lines. Don't click those because those are not legit, right? They're not authority figures. Those are spam and stuff like that. So make sure that you are purchasing a domain name so that you create that authority with your audience and your subscribers, and they'll want to do business with you. So the email responder, and they have several of them. A lot of them are free to join because what they want you to do is they want you to get on their platform. So a lot of them are free to join for the first like 500 subscribers. And think about that. If 500 subscribers at $1, if you start to work that really well, you can do about $500 a month. And that could just be on the free autoresponder. So you have a lot of leeway. Some of them won't allow you to schedule per se, but it's okay. You'll learn the concept of what we're trying to convey, and you can move on from there. So I do want to show you now this is my autoresponder. I like Aweber. I have GetResponse. I have, I think, what is the name of it? Oh gosh, I haven't used it in a while. I've had Gmask before. I've had quite a few of them, but this is kind of my go-to, and I do really enjoy Aweber. But this is what it kind of looks like on the inside, right? So when I log in, this is my dashboard. I can see my landing pages. I can see my messages, my automations. Now, what'll happen is once you connect this to your domain, the emails, like let's say somebody replies back to your email, it's not going to show up here. It's going to show up in your actual email. So you'll still have your email account, right? And then you'll have your autoresponder account. And so that is going to be the way that you interact. And this is going to be where you're going to put all your subscribers, and you're going to put in your information, your messages in here. And then you're going to schedule them out. And some people have gotten really good with theirs. Some people schedule them out a month out. And so it just flows, so they don't have to worry about it. Others are weekly, others are daily, right? So it just kind of depends on how you interact with your subscribers. But do what's best for you. So just to recap, we talked about email marketing, what it is. We talked about different types of email marketing, how important it is in your business. We talked about the different elements, the subject, the pre-header text. We talked about the body of the email. We talked about subscriber costs and the different kinds of autoresponders. So if you have any questions, you can contact me, join my Facebook group, Asia for Reals Marketing. You can also email me at info@successwithasia.com. You can join my email list, wink, wink, successwithasia.com/join my email, okay? And that is Asia, AYSIA. So just so you don't get confused, right? I do have a Y in my name. And then I do send freebies, and I will also send you a copy of this live that we've been on today. So just to give you a different, maybe, I'm not sure how well versed you are in email marketing. I'm not sure about where you, if you're interested in it, but I did want to just kind of touch base on it. And I want to provide you with some best practices, right? So no spammy subject lines. In the CAN-SPAM law, they do say that you are not supposed to do forwards and reply to, because that gives misleading information. That tells the subscriber that they've already touched base with you, right? That's why it's kind of misleading. So don't use forwards, don't use reply tos, because that is unlawful. Also, no pictures in your emails. People love to put pictures in their emails, and they're pretty. They're really pretty. But let me tell you the problem with that. The problem with that is pictures take up space. And if I give you, let's say we're on LinkedIn, right? And you give me your business email on your 9-to-5 job. Well, there is 700 employees at your job. So if you're sending pictures and your pictures are large, chances are that company is going to either kick your email out because it's too large, or they're going to send it straight to spam, or they're not even going to get it anyway. Now, if you're on, like, say you have a personal email and you have a, like you have a Gmail account at home, right? If you send a picture in your email, chances are it's going to go in the promotional tab or the social tab. So if it goes in one of those and your subscribers don't even look at those tabs, then it's also a waste, right? So let's say like you have 1,000 subscribers and you're actually paying for these and you put pictures in them, and you're thinking that they're going somewhere where they're actually going to the promotional tab, but they don't check the promotional tab. That's just a loss, right? So it makes sense to just make sure they are active subscribers and try to prevent pictures in your emails because you want them to actually get to your emails, okay? No long emails. Don't send long emails that are way too long that they have to scroll, that they're going to lose interest in. Just make sure that you keep it short and sweet. No raw links. We talked about that. And then emojis. Surprisingly, emojis do very well on email. So in your header, like when I showed mine, I had a little like flashlight on mine. So in that, you can put those in your subject lines and those do well because they are fun and they are memorable. And so they're eye-catching, especially in your subject line, and you want them to click. These are some free resources. There's GetResponse, Aweber, which I discussed earlier. GMask is a form of Gmail. However, I do still recommend that you get your own domain name. You can do that with Gmail, but I don't recommend it. I've done it, and I'll tell you, I still don't recommend it, right? Learn from the people who've already done it, right? So that's not a good idea. Bitly is a link shortener. And if you have a long, like a raw link, like we talked about before, and you need a place to make it shorter, you can go to bit.ly and you can shorten the link. And then also sendcheckit.com is one. That is a subject line checker. So you'll put your subject line into that box and they'll give you a score. They'll let you know how well your email subject line is, what are the possibilities that somebody's going to click on it, and then they'll tell you based on how you wrote it what the grade level is. So it's a nice little website. HubSpot email marketing gives you an autoresponder. HubSpot has a lot of different tools, a lot of free templates. You will probably have to join their email list to get some of their information, but they do a lot. And so basically that's about it. I put the other ones on the bottom, but I'll be honest, I haven't quite used those. So, but there are a lot of free resources out there for email marketing just to get started. So don't feel like it's overwhelming. Just start and kind of play with it. If you have any questions, you can message me back. You can email me. Let me go back here. You can join my Facebook. You can also join my email list as well. And let's just connect. Like if you have any questions, I want to hear about them. I want to know about them so that I can answer them and help you out. I hope you found this helpful. I hope that you enjoyed this live. And if you need anything, just reach back out to me. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.